Cautions breed cautions. When we left you, Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Jeff Gordon were battling side by side for 5th. Watch the contact between them and watch the left rear tire on Gordon's car, top of your screen.
It's all good, all good. They make contact right there, and when you go by, you see the left rear is down.
And that's right about where the tailpipes exit on the right side of Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s car.
Yeah, you can see a little damage on the side of Junior's car where the tailpipes got in there, the jack stop. Right there, they touch.
And there you see the 2 exhaust pipes behind that arrow, which is the jack post, and you see the tire mark. Pretty clear. And we heard from Jeff Gordon.
Oh, we're in the wall. Junior just cut our left rear. Thank you, Junior. Appreciate it, buddy. That just sucks right there. I was just getting ready to give it to him, too.
Meaning
and
give
we're
him
not going anywhere.
Sorry, meaning give him the position. They were racing side by side.
I'm hoping he meant the position. I think he did.
And here's what Dale Jr. said.
I'm sorry about that. Yeah, tempo, but we'll let him know. We'll let him know. You're doing all you can up there. I know you are. Hopefully I didn't knock the right front off of it. We barely bumped. I mean, it was barely. I mean, it wasn't hard enough that I knocked the air out of the left rear tire.
We went into this race with 3 5-time Bristol winners, and they've all had trouble today. Kyle Busch got caught up in the lap 31 crash. His older brother Kurt Busch slapped the wall between 1 and 2, and now Jeff Gordon goes off on the hook.
Yeah, I mean, Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s right. He didn't really touch him that hard, but those exhaust pipes sticking out there is like a razor blade cutting that tire.
Yeah, you can see right there, there's a tailpipe, and just it doesn't even stick out past the body, but when you touch and it pushes it in a little bit, then the pipe's right there.
Larry, 135 laps to go. You were on pit road 20 laps ago.
Yeah, well, actually, we were on pit road sooner than that because we only ran just a handful of laps, about maybe 10 laps since we had that restart. If you're maybe one of the cars or one of the drivers at the tail end of the lead lap, maybe come on in and get that insurance more adjustments.
Let's check with Chris Myers, get an AT&T race break.
All right, thanks, Mike. And if you're wondering, you were talking about 5-time Bristol champs or those that were favorites coming into this race, the 4th race of the NASCAR season, but the first short track race. Let's go back to lap 24. And Casey Kane, he's had, what, 3 different cars this year so far that have been good, but here he has trouble as he's tapped by Regan Smith. 6 cars involved in this wreck on lap 24.
Yeah, you just can't see what's happening ahead of you, Chris. You're down in these high bank turns. What's happening up ahead is a mystery, and usually it causes frustration.
Yeah, Kyle Busch was taken out of it. Carl Edwards was taken out of it. Eventually they come back, but they're not in the picture in terms of who's going to win this. Someone who survived that wreck was Brad Keselowski, and then you see in a restart going toe-to-toe moments later with Matt Kenseth as Keselowski led more than 100 laps. And then moments ago, Jeff Gordon, these are Hendrick teammates. We had 4 teammates last week with Roush Fenway Ford having some problems. We joked, asked you about your Michael Waltrip Racing teammates early. You said, hey, as long as they don't wreck. And here, whose fault was that, by the way? That's not just one of those racing deals. You got to think smart. You got a couple of veterans out there.
But it's intensity, Chris. Every lap that goes by, you get more and more serious about grabbing a position. You saw Brad Keselowski and Matt Kenseth rub. Then all of a sudden, Jeff Gordon gets into the side of, Dale Jr. gets into the side of Gordon and cuts his tire. That was just a little bump. It was a bump in the wrong spot, though, because those tailpipes come out on the right side, cut that tire down, and boom, Jeff Gordon's in the wall.
Communication between teammates. We had the spotter issue with Casey Kane, his cousin, the spotter. I mean, teammates overrated, especially when you get on a short track like this?
Well, at the end of Vegas, you saw Roush teammates, Kenseth and Biffle, racing each other very hard. Carl Edwards as well. So as an owner, that's your worst nightmare, that your cars get together and mess each other up. Same thing with Mr. Hendrick right now as his car got crashed because of a teammate rubbing him. But, man, it's Bristol. You're going to rub a little bit. Those rubs usually don't cut a tire.
Yeah, Rick Hendrick trying to win his 200th Cup race. Let's check in with Dick Bergman.
And Jeff Gordon has emerged from the care center. Dale Earnhardt Jr. said you barely bumped. Your version of the situation.
Well, I think we bumped more than we should have is the way it looks like. I mean, yeah, we definitely didn't hit, you know, in the right location because I think the tailpipe or something just cut the left rear immediately. I mean, we didn't hit that hard. You know, we were a little bit too tight. and he was pretty good on the restart there. We were racing hard, and you know, I know that it wasn't intentional, but it certainly ruined our day. And I hate it for Drive In Hunger. Just encourage everybody to text Hunger to 50555. I hate it for this race team. There were times we had the best car out there, and I think we could have got back to that before this thing was over.
They had a shot to win it, Chris.
Yeah, we talked about on the pre-race show, thanks, Dick, and Jeff, about even teammates. This is the place where feelings get hurt. You run into each other. He was your pick, a guy who's had more short tracks victories than any other driver in this race.
Yeah, it's been 10 years since he got the victory here in Bristol, and I thought he had the car to do it, and it certainly looked that way early. Now you got to watch old Matt Kenseth. He's the guy now.
And Michael Waltrip Racing, too. How'd you get to be an owner? You said you didn't have any money.
I got a great partner.
Okay, well, we'll watch for Brian Vickers, Clint Boyer, some of your guys. That's our AT&T race break. And you can see drivers, how they're doing by texting yourself fast to 34763 or visiting AT&TFastestDriver.com for a chance to win 4Gs. That's 4,000. All brought to you by the nation's largest 4G network. Rethink possible. For Michael Waltrip, Chris Myers, and the Hollywood Hotel, let's join Darrell Waltrip, Larry McReynolds, and Mike Joy.
Thanks, Chris. Getting set for this restart. It'll come with 130 to go, or 129 to go, because they'll give one to go this time by. Matt Kenseth's Ford, Brad Keselowski's Dodge, Clint Boyer's Toyota, and Jeff Burton's Chevrolet are the front four in this restart. We'll have 15 cars on the lead lap as Ryan Newman gets the free pass on this caution. Friday on Ultimate Fighter Live, 15 contenders from Team Faber and Team Cruz battle to stay on top. Who will be the next to fight? Don't miss the Ultimate Fighter live Friday 10 p.m. only on FX.
Mike, the top 8 drivers stayed out, and as anticipated, some drivers at the back of the lead lap, Mark Trix Jr., McMurray, Menard, Montoya, Harvick, Tony Stewart, all pitted. Who that caution really benefited? Remember, Denny Hamlin took the wave around the last caution, didn't pit. Now he's only 1 lap down here with about 130 laps to go.
Hamlin in 19th.
Keselowski ought to be happy. He started on the inside on the last restart, chose to be there. This time he's forced down there because Kent's is taking the outside. So see how it works out for him this time. Not so good last time.
Pace car's in there, 10 away from the mark. 5.
Pace car scoots.
Get ready. Green. Everything's rolling good up there. No pressure mirror. 48 half back. Everything's rolling good in front of you there. Real good.
Outside lane gets the break, but here comes Keselowski for the lead.
The only 2 drivers I've seen that their cars right now seemingly work on the bottom is Brad Keselowski in the 2 and Clint Boyer in that 15.
Yeah, Clint's car's been really good on the bottom. Right now he's behind Jeff Burton in the 31. Burton's pretty good down there too. Kent's just likes that high line, gets some momentum up off the corner.
Riding with Clint Boyer. Jeff Burton ahead, and a look back to 7th place, Jimmy Johnson. And our points leader in the Sprint Cup Series, Greg Biffle.
Haven't talked about Jimmy Johnson much today, but he's been solidly in the top 10 just about all day long. Had a decent car.
And you think about Greg Biffle in the 16, our pole sitter starts the season with 3 top 5s. The last time a driver had 4 top 5s to start the season, Jimmy Johnson in the 48 in 2008.
Steve?
Am I talking about our pole sitter, Greg Biffle? He says his car's been good today, but it's just been a little bit inconsistent. He said the entry, sometimes it's loose, sometimes it's tight.
Well, I think this track has been somewhat going through that much of a transition. We've been talking about sun in, sun out, clouds out.
Yeah, I think that's where the effect comes from. You know, when it's sunny, I'm loose. When it's not, I'm a little tight. So that's the game they've been playing in the pits all day, trying to figure out what it's going to do next.
Burton up high, Boyer down low. Same thing at the front of the pack. Kenseth high, Keselowski low. The inside is the short way around. The upper groove has more banking. It's the faster way around. Matt?
And Mike, they're both battling the same exact problem. Car way too free. Keselowski said when he's on the bottom like he is right now, going side by side, the car is absolutely free. Can't believe how much aero is factoring into it. While Kenseth, his car is way too free on exit.
Free means you can't be aggressive. You can't jerk the car around. You can't pull it to the bottom. You got to work the gas and the steering wheel together so that you don't get the car loose and spin it out. That's free.
And Darrell, probably the lower you try to run, the more that problem's magnified,
sure,
would you say?
It's a sharper corner. When you get down on the bottom like that, you got to cut it more, and that's what makes you loose.
Burton decides the third place battle for the moment. Keselowski's going to come off the corner even with Kenseth. But with that, oh, they almost touch getting down into turn one.
That bottom will prevail if you have the patience to stay down there and work it. You keep inching up a little bit every time. Every turn you get a little closer to getting in front of the guy. Plus, the other thing you like to do when you're down there like that is maybe Matt Kenseth's in the 17 will overdrive the corner.
Yep.
By being on the outside. So you just got to keep the pressure on right here.
Darrell, are either of these two drivers in danger of using up their stuff? We've still got 117 laps to go.
I don't think you really can't worry about that.
Okay.
You know, at this point in the race, Mike, use it up. We've only got 107.
That's
it's
true.
not 107. We've only got 117 to go.
And what was impressive, Matt Kenseth and Brad Keselowski in the 17-2, even going side by side, they were not losing any ground to Jeff Burton and Clint Boyer.
That's right, Larry. This is the new Bristol. It's no longer the bump and run of the old Bristol, but it's a track where you can run lap after lap, side by side, due to the progressive banking, and neither driver, they've got to work hard to find an edge when you can run side by side, lap after lap, like you can here now.
And I mentioned earlier that right now Keselowski in the 2, he's trying to diamond the corner. He runs in the corner right up behind Kenseth, but then he tries to cut to the bottom and get a run down the straightaway equal to what Kenseth gives.
Side by side lead, close for third and fourth.